War doesn't just kill you with bullets, it kills you slowly. With cold, with hunger, with infection, with exhaustion. Most soldiers didn't die in battle. They died trying to survive everything around it. So the ones who lived, adapted. They did things that looked insane. They threw away their own ammunition. They slept sitting up for weeks. They carried raw meat into battle, not because they wanted to, because it was the only way to stay alive. During World War II, machine gunners faced a deadly paradox. Their weapons fired tracer rounds, glowing bullets that helped them aim in the dark. But those glowing trails worked both ways. Every time a tracer left the barrel, it created a bright line pointing straight back to the shooter. Snipers didn't look for the soldier. They looked for the light. Experienced gunners knew this. So before nightfall, they did something that looked like madness. They tore the glowing rounds out of their own belts and threw them into the mud. They chose blindness over death, because in war, visibility was vulnerability. Did you know 19th century sailors used heavy stones instead of mops to clean their decks? It wasn't torture, it was survival. Salt water constantly soaked the wooden floors. Moisture, algae, and wear turned the surface dangerously slippery. During storms, the ship could tilt violently. A smooth deck became as slick as ice. One wrong step, and you'd be thrown straight into the ocean. Soap couldn't fix it. So sailors used heavy sandstone blocks called holy stones. They didn't polish the wood, they destroyed it. Every morning they scraped away the smooth surface, leaving the deck rough and raw. That rough texture gave their bare feet grip, because at sea a shiny floor wasn't beautiful, it was deadly. You think sailors wore bell-bottoms for fashion? Think again. These wide pants weren't a style choice. They were high-tech survival gear designed to save a man from a watery grave. In the 19th century, falling overboard was a death sentence. Standard trousers become heavy as lead when soaked, dragging you to the bottom. If your pants are tight, you're dead, because unbuttoning them with frozen fingers is impossible. But bell-bottoms were different. The wide legs allowed a sailor to kick them off in seconds without even removing his boots. One quick move, and you shed the weight that was trying to drown you. Even crazier, a stranded sailor could tie the legs in a knot, swing them to trap air, and turn his pants into an emergency life jacket. This fashion choice kept men floating for hours. At sea, beauty is useless. What looks like style today was the only thing between life and the bottom of the ocean. Forget the myth that Genghis Khan's warriors put raw meat under their saddles to cook it. That's a fairy tale. The truth is far more survival-driven. This meat didn't feed the rider, it saved the horse's life. In the Great Steppe, speed was everything. But 20 hours in the saddle would grind a horse's back into raw, rotting sores. To stop and heal meant losing the war. So the nomads engineered a brutal solution. They placed thin slices of raw beef directly onto the animal's open wounds. The meat acted as a living shock absorber. It stayed cool, soaked up the sweat, and prevented the heavy leather from tearing the horse's muscles to the bone. This wasn't lunch. It was a biological compress. It allowed their cavalry to cover hundreds of miles without a single break, while their enemies were forced to stop and rest. What the world called barbarism was actually genius field medicine. The Mongols didn't wait for campfires. They just changed their padding and kept conquering. In trenches, lying down was dangerous. Water pooled in the ground. Mud carried disease. Rats crawled over sleeping soldiers. So many learned to sleep sitting up, leaning against the trench wall, weapon in hand, ready to wake instantly. They never truly rested. They simply paused. Between moments of survival,